Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So what we have here is the Hoard log splitter, and it looks like Vanguard. I think this was somebody purchased this a while ago. The blue engine you see sitting there, I swapped onto this thing after I got it, and I used it for a little while, and it seemed to do a pretty good job. And for whatever reason, I did not really split any more wood, and it kind of got put here, and here it's been sitting for quite a while. You can see it'll split a pretty good size hunk of wood from one end. That's probably 30 inches. I'm glad that I was smart enough to run the cylinder back, because if this gets rusty, because you have the cylinder out, and then when you pull it back in, the rust kills the seal, and then you squirt hydraulic fluid all over the place. Yeah, I'm just looking it over because I want to see what it's going to take to put it back to life. The hoses, the high pressure hoses, right? What happens is the pump puts high pressure to the valve, right? And then depending which way you move this, right? If you're putting pressure on this side, it closes the cylinder or shortens the cylinder. And if you put pressure out this side, it makes the cylinder extend, which is how you split your wood. So all these hoses for the high pressure side look halfway decent. The low pressure stuff, I mean, they look like they'll function. They don't look too bad. And the hydraulic fluid actually looks halfway decent. I'm going to go through this thing when I officially fire it up, but just quickly, a quick summary for anybody who's trying to bring these back to life. If you fire up your engine and you go to move your cylinder and all, and you look in your oil, your hydraulic fluid reservoir, if it's milky, you gotta dump the reservoir and change the oil. And unfortunately, you got to do that a few times until it's no longer milky. If you have the milky look of the oil, the foaming and the white look of the oil, is because there's water in there. And let me tell you, if there's water in the oil, when you tell it to pump and push the cylinder, it doesn't. It just isn't strong. It's really no good. And I'm not thinking that the water would be good for the pump or the cylinder. So if it's at all milky, you got to change it. I've had some friends who've used not power steering fluid, transmission fluid to run their hydraulics. I keep some hydraulic fluid around for the backhoe loader, so I have that to use. Actually, this thing seems to have taken the weather better than I thought it would. The engine itself, the gas was turned off, and I think I ran the carb out because that's kind of one of those habitual things I do. But if you it's got some really stinky from here. I'm over 2 foot away from that fuel, and it stinks horribly. So I'm definitely going to have to change the gas. I might have to change the gas tank also. It'll be good to get this out of here because I'm trying to capture some of this space back to actually utilize and not grow weeds and piles of metal and all. So it'll be it'll be nice to get this gone, and then I got that pile of dirt and other stone debris from when I did the garage. I'd really like to get this area smoothed out, that area smoothed out. Who needs that in the middle of the lawn? And some of this other stuff gone, and try to start getting myself sorted. So stay tuned for the log splitter project. My buddy Calvin down at Calvin's Corners, he asked about this a few times, and now that it's getting to be winter, it really is time for it to come back to life. I'm really very, very pleased that it seems to have survived fairly well. I mean, one of the other things you could do, and I had to do this on the backhoe loader. See, this unscrews, right? And this is the seal, right? The sliding seal, so to speak. On the backhoe loader, that seal went bad. So I'm not quite sure if this is official for packing hydraulic cylinders. Some people will probably frown at me for telling me this. But an old timer told me that if you're leaking around the seal here, you can take cotton, and it's got to be cotton string, like bakery string, the stuff they used for the box, though if you could get something thicker it would be better. And you wrap it around the cylinder, right? You extend out a little bit, you get this out of there. You wrap it around the cylinder, and then when you bring this in and tighten it, the cotton tightens around the cylinder and it makes a nice seal. And those of you who say, oh God, that'll never work, I did that with the backhoe loader a few years ago, and it's still working. And the backhoe loader, the only way it steers is by a hydraulic cylinder. It's not hydraulically assisted. If the hydraulics, for whatever reason, are not working, you're not steering unless you get off the tractor and, grab the front tires and turn them manually. There's no mechanical rod that goes down into a steering box that turns anything. So made all the difference in the world. It was quite honestly the difference between the backhoe loader working and finishing the task that was in front of it, and it continues to work. It was the difference between that and it not working, as in, what do I do now? And where do I get a hydraulic cylinder for this thing to fix it? Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, and hopefully you'll actually see this thing split wood sometime soon. I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. I want you all to remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and if you're enjoying some smooth sailing, enjoy your time, get a lot done. If you're in some rough sailing, I hope the waves smooth out for you. Anyway folks, take care. Bye now.